What's up everybody? In this video I'm going to show you guys how to make a UTV exhaust just like this one, and better yet, it'll sound like this. Here we have all our materials, and this is all T304 stainless steel 3-inch tubing. I get this stuff through Vibrant from Summit Racing. I'm not sure why they always include the wine voucher. I'm not sure what fabricators are drinking wine, but I always trust Vibrant's material is going to be a good enough quality. A 3-inch V-band. This is just to put a clamp somewhere halfway in the system so they don't have to remove the whole exhaust or remove other parts to get the exhaust off. So this is just a nice piece to help the customer take his stuff apart and put it back together. And here I have a 5-foot stick of 3-inch stainless to match our bends here. We're gonna go ahead and take it apart and see what we have as far as flanges, and I'll get back to you guys. Okay guys, so the first step I like to do is get the brush finished out of my pipes. And whether I do a polish finish or a brush finish, I just try to get some type of finish, because you can see here on this pipe right here, this is fresh off the bending mandrel, and you can see a lot of lines that go through it, and it isn't the best looking pipe. We can end up having a nicer piece overall by getting this brush finish, or like I said, you can polish it. The way I get my brush finish is by taking this black Scotch-Brite, and this is the roughest stuff that I can find locally, and I put a little bit of soap and a little bit of water in a bucket, and I rub it just like this. And after some time, you'll end up with something really nice like this. I got in there and realized that this is not a traditional V-band flange, and I can't seem to find one online yet, so I went ahead and cut it off right here at this section, and we're gonna go ahead and reuse it. It looks brand new, obviously, after a trip to the wire wheel, so that's good as new. And I realized after putting it in there with some test fitting that I'm gonna need this little pie cut as a little offset. So I'm gonna put this on, tack it up, and I'll show you guys where the fitment is at right now. So I hope this is visible to you guys, but this is the V-band, this is the pie, and here I'm starting my bend. One of the issues I'm running into is hitting that clamp right there, but we're gonna persevere. So this is where I'm gonna add the V-band, and the reason for that is because this is a really convenient area for someone to get some tools in. There's plenty of room to fit any type or any size of tool here, and they can just go ahead and crack the flange right here and take a piece off of there and pull this section out here. You can tell because of this long sweeping bend, and being that I'm gonna add more here, there's no way that this can be pulled out in one piece. So that's just another reason that we're gonna add a flange here, so the customer or even myself during the fabrication process can break this down into 2 pieces, and it'll just be a little bit more manageable and easier for you to fabricate on. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my mark right now. And that looks pretty good to me. Okay, so you can see here that when I use a chop saw on material like this, it leaves these edges in here that are like really sharp, and they're gonna, you know, impede exhaust flow, stuff like that, and it's really not good for welding neither. So the best way I found, quickest way to remove those, is just a little rat tail file, and just rub it in there and get those burrs out, and that's just going to be that much better for our exhaust flow, and it's going to be that much cleaner of a weld on this interior side. So spend that little extra time. I know it's, you know, it's not the best job ever, but hey, you got to do it. Just look at this, guys. I mean, we're coming from roughly 2-inch all the way to that 3-inch, and just look at that. I don't know everything, I'm not an expert, but I think that's gonna make a little bit more power. So I'm gonna keep rocking and rolling. My next plan is to land this next pipe right here. It's gonna come this way and go down here, and then our exit is gonna come right back to the camera right here. You can see once I get this in here, I'm gonna bring it right back out that stock hole and just do maybe some type of turn down or something. A little teardrop. Junk stock pipe. So yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. I'm gonna keep going and show you guys some more progress. Here's our progress so far. I went ahead and took this to the chop saw already and took a little length off of this. I could tell that it already needed it. It's gonna go together something like this. And then right here, I'll cut it and have the exit out the center. So I'm gonna go ahead and tack the V-band right here for this section and keep going on the rest. I can't wait to get right here. This will be the hard part. Once the plastic is on here, getting this one to come out perfectly in the center is gonna be a little difficult. But try as you will and you will succeed. Oh yeah, just look at that. This is more like where it'll be sitting right here to stay inside that heat shield. You can see our V-band clamp. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay guys, I know progress gets you excited. It does the same thing to me, but I need you guys to calm down now, okay? We're gonna keep going. We're gonna move forward. So this is our final exit piece right here. This is gonna be our dump. And this is gonna be exiting through the center of this whole plastic thing right here. And the way I'm gonna determine on where to cut this is by setting this in like a rough location where I know it's gonna be sitting at, which is about right there. And I'm just gonna make a rough cut on this pipe somewhere around here. And I'm gonna leave it about, I don't know, 1-2 inches long so that when I'm ready to do the final, I got a little bit more to cut off, because if you cut too much, you're screwed, right? So don't let that be you. All right, that's roughly what we're looking at. I'm thinking about doing some type of teardrop exit or just a angled cut here or something. But whatever I do, I think it's gonna look pretty sick. I like where this is going. So let's get to it. Let's keep progressing. So I'm gonna start working on the exit now. And the exit I'm going for is something like this. This is a wastegate dump tube, but the exit that I'm looking for is this teardrop cut right here. And that's just a straight cut that's put on a bend. And I just think that's gonna look pretty good out of that hole. So I think I'm just gonna go for something like that. And this is the only piece of scrap that I have laying around, and I'm worried that it's too small. But I went ahead and I made a faint mark there, and that's just my guide. And this is gonna be my tool of choice. It's not the best for this, but anyone who calls himself a man will be willing to get down there and get dirty. Wow, that was a whole lot harder than I thought it was gonna be, but this is what we have. It's a lot smaller than I expected. I was hoping to have a little bit more material right here, but I'll live with it. Okay, moving forward. Here I have a little template that I made. I'm gonna use this for my mount. I need to make a mount back here. You can see it's pretty, it's gonna move quite a bit. So what I went ahead and did is I'm going to use this stock mount right here, and I'm going to place this right here like so. And then up here at the top I'll have like kind of like a cradle for the tube, and then I'm going to run a hose clamp around it, and that'll be our rear mount. How am I going to make these edges on this bracket perfectly flat? Well, with this here Harbor Freight belt sander, I'm just going to hold it here. I don't know if this is showing up for you guys, but that's a pretty nice looking edge. I like it, but Now we have all these burrs again on the back side. So I'm just gonna go ahead and break those off. Use my file where I need to. My hands are tired, my arms are dead, but the filing is done. I went ahead and rounded these edges here. And I'm kind of feeling a polished finish on this, so I think I'm gonna take it over to the buffing wheel and see what I can do with it. This is after the polish. It's not like your dad's Harley pipes, but I think it's gonna polish out pretty good. So I already made 2 little dimples here and here, which are gonna locate right here and here. And it'll mount like so. And then I'll be running my hose clamp right around that. And I'll avoid that weld right there. I'm just holding this here, but I'll avoid that weld right there. Alright, I went ahead and drilled all these holes. I did 1 pass here and 1 pass here. And this is what it looks like in place. What do you guys think? I think it looks pretty good. I'm ready to pull this off and start doing the final welding. So you guys might be wondering why I have foil on both ends of this exhaust here. And the reason for that is because I fill the inside of this pipe with gas, the same gas that comes out of this torch, not gasoline, not E85, come on guys. And it comes through this hose and goes in the pipe. And that just helps the inside as you're welding. It helps the inside maintain its, I guess its integrity. If you don't do that, then the inside of the weld turns into like a black mush and just looks kind of like black sugary stuff. And it's not strong. That would never pass any type of weld test. But anything stainless or titanium, stuff like that, has to be purge welded. And that's what we mean by purge welding, is the inside of it is filled with gas. Okay guys, hallelujah, welding is done. Now it's time to add some color to this thing. And I'm not talking about the color of the welds, I'm talking about the color of the pipe. Okay, I have a matte gas torch here, and I'm gonna consistently heat this pipe down, and it's gonna get a nice gold tint. Hopefully, we'll see what I can do. As you can see, it's not a fast process, but we got a little bit of purple right here. Most of this is a pretty consistent gold. I think it looks pretty good. And the last step before final install, I added the O2 bung. The stock one has the O2 bung here. I relocated mine just a little bit to right there. And the reason that I have mine at an angle versus straight down is because when you see water moisture coming out of exhaust pipes, that moisture can drip down the O2 sensor and give an inaccurate reading. So you put that at an angle so the moisture doesn't touch the actual sensing part of the sensor. And finally, the finished product. Look at that beautiful color. Alright guys, well if you learned a thing or two, if you liked what you saw, if you want to see more, go ahead and comment, rate, and subscribe.